Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting Arkham list video. On today, we're doing our top 5 experience Seeker cards. You guys saw us do the Mystics, now we're on to the Seekers. We are currently recording this at a distance, so everything looks different, so buckle up, let's go. I just want to say, for me personally, before we get into this, I am not confident in my list. A lot of these cards, I didn't want to have too many duplicates, so I kind of was just looking at other stuff. But overall, these Seeker cards did not excite me too much. Just going to say that before we go any deeper.
No, yellow cards aren't exciting, but they are very good.
Yeah, they're good. Let's go on to our number 5s. So Bryn's number 5 is Death 13. Mine is the entire Strange Solution family, and Travis's is Forewarned. We're going to come back to Death 13, so we're not going to talk about it here. But I'm going to talk about the Strange Solution family. This kind of goes into that thing of the fact that they're not too exciting, but the good ones are very good. I have Acidic Ichor here specifically because the ability... this was in the days in Dunwich when yellow could just do everything. They could attack for 6 and deal 3 damage a few times a turn. Another thing that...
Calm down, they can still do everything if they want to.
It's true, yes. They're still very good. They can still do whatever they want. But like I remember in Dunwich, we were like, these guys are... they're better than everybody. And one thing that it's kind of like a legacy of this is that this was the first unidentified feature. So there's still that little bit of nostalgia for me looking at this card.
I also really enjoy those cycles. Actually, none of them made my list, but it's always really fun to pop open a new cycle and like in the first pack or two have the unidentified thing, and then you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it and spend time and resources on that without knowing what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, who cares? This is gonna be great. And Travis has Forewarned.
It's like a purple card but yellow.
You know, it is. And you gotta place
I love interacting with the encounter deck, and this does that, so...
Yeah, and you gotta place one of your clues on your location, which when you're yellow is, you know...
Sometimes a good thing.
Yeah, it's akin to like a nice, pleasant breeze. A Chinook coming in off the mountains. You're like, oh, this is wonderful. You know?
Yeah, it actually synergizes really well with a lot of characters that can play this card as well as several other yellow cards. Like, Roland in particular is very scared of the encounter deck, and this helps him get through it while also dropping a clue on his location that, like, hey, you can just shoot an enemy later and pick it up.
Yeah, easily get back.
Yeah, Rex shoot, and if you're playing deduction, which you should, you just shoot. It's just a free clue, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then it also synergizes with cards, or enables cards, I should say, like Inquiring Mind and Preposterous Sketches. Like those style of cards are required there would be a clue on your location.
Yeah. Number 4 for everybody, Bryn, Esoteric Atlas. What do you got to say about this big boy?
Well, some people might look at this card and say, that's just a bad Pathfinder. And to those people, I say, you're probably right. However, this does a couple of things that Pathfinder does not. Firstly, it's a tome, so if you're Daisy Walker, free movement is sweet. If you're not, well, yeah, tough. But being a tome also means it's much easier to tutor out of your deck when you want it. And you can use it to skip over locations that you don't want to move through.
Yes.
Like, maybe there's a monster there, or, you know, it hurts you for being there. I'm sure you can imagine situations where you don't want to be someplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that card's actually, it's a little bit better than we've been giving it credit for, but at the same time, like, no one's really, I've been meaning to go back and play, like, a Daisy deck and just, like, try the tomes.
Yeah, try all the new stuff that came out with her, yeah. My number 4 is Preposterous Sketches, which is just goes back to that, hey, draw 3 cards. If there's a clue on your location, which you're the Seeker, there will be clues on your location. Maybe you had to put a clue back on your location, and now you get to draw 3 cards from Forewarned, right? Like, I just think drawing 3 cards is pretty sweet. There's that other version, which you can have anybody draw at your location, draw 3 cards, and there doesn't need to be a clue there.
Cryptic Research?
Yes. This one would just be... It's found its place in my decks more often. And this, once again, I've... Like, also, you'll notice that a lot of this sits in kind of the Dunwich Legacy, which is, like, the last time I've played a yellow character in this group. So all these new cards that I see are scary to me. I'm like, what is all this? Like, I see Travis's card on the right, and I'm like, what is this? So.
Yeah, no, that the process sketch is actually quite solid. It's a very good upgrade over the level 0 version, whereas the level 0 version, you're basically trading a card and 2 resources, so like sort of 3 actions at its base level for 3 cards, which is again like just 3 actions. That's not really great. Whereas this one's actually very good towards pushing you towards the hand size limit that you need for like higher education while still maintaining resources to utilize it.
Yeah. Travis, your number 4 is Shards of Segment of Onyx, but we have here Pendant of the Queen, which is the payoff to Segment of Onyx.
Yeah, they all kind of go together in the same thing. But I've played with this card exactly once, and it has, like, it already impressed me. Like, it is really, really, really good. And you just put it back in your deck, and you can find it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that was in a Mandy deck, and she's probably gonna have the easiest time out of most investigators to find the pieces. But like, it's just so much value for just nothing. Even the pieces themselves are fast; they don't cost you actions to play. It's so good.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it is easier in Mandy, but like as we just reviewed the starter packs, and like Harvey Walters draws cards like a machine, right? So he'll also easily get there, right?
Yeah. It's also a very solid upgrade if you're going into a campaign blind and you don't know what's going on, because for only 1 experience you get to trade it with 3 of your cards for the segments.
Yep.
Because period, and like that's just a really cheap way to get some potentially less useful cards out of your deck, or deck cards that you thought were going to be good but they're not.
Yeah, and the fact that it shuffles itself back like as soon as it's out of charges, so it's not a dead item, is incredible. Like, it's.
Yeah, very strong card.
Not even mentioning what the card actually does. Like, it does anything. Like, it's like Travis.
It's like 3 strange solutions.
It is, yeah. And like, you just choose a revealed location. So you're like, hey, Bryn, you have that enemy, I'll deal with it from here, right? Like.
Yeah, it's just like what you want to do, and then you just do it, and it doesn't even cost you an action. It's insane.
It's crazy.
It also has some added utility if you're playing one of those big draw decks where you can just burn the charges out to shuffle 3 cards back into your deck to stave off taking 1 direct horror another turn.
Yeah, that's pretty handy sometimes.
Or just even to reset it, you know?
Yeah. You have like 10 cards, like you have like 6 cards left, shuffle the 3 in, you get your Pendant of the Queen back right away. Our number 3 cards, Bryn, is Grizzly Totem, the yellow version.
Yeah, much to my disappointment, this card has nothing to do with bears.
Is that why it's only number 3?
Yeah,
that's why it's number 3 instead of literally any other number. That being said, this card is quite strong if you're playing like a support-oriented yellow character, like maybe some sort of tiny Vietnamese secretary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it seems great with her.
Yeah.
I haven't played it with her because, as I said earlier.
Even if you're playing anyone else, there's a lot of yellow cards that have like 1 wild icon or one book item icon, and turning those into like an unexpected courage or a perception is quite strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one of those yellow cards I feel like we really haven't given enough respect, because I'm the only person who plays them, and I look at this card, I'm like, that's trash one time, and I never play it.
Travis is all about that hard carry life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get them clues, baby.
Gotta get them clues and then just hold my 14 cards in front of my friends and say, you guys suck in comparison to my knowledge.
Yeah, no, you just gotta you hoard cards in your hand that you know could save you, and then you spend all your time getting clues, and then when you're in danger, you tell your teammates, like, spend your resources saving me, you need me. You want me to drop 15 clues on this location? How are you ever gonna get them all?
Man, one day Bryn and I are just gonna be like, no. And they'll be like, fine, I'll spend 1 card from my hand and solve 8 problems at once.
Yeah, but like, oh, that's fine. Like, I'll just play these 3 copies of Segment of Onyx and then go do whatever.
My number 3 card is Deciphered Reality, which admittedly, in comparison to a lot of cards that have come out, has it's become weaker, I think, because just generally there's better ways to get clues. But when this guy came out, it was just like a big punch. You're like, you mean I can get everything. But at that point, it's also like, I'm saying I love this card, but I also think this card is kind of bad now because like you're like, we're going to leave all these clues on these locations, right? And for 5 experience, I just think there's much better things you can do, but I still really like this card from my old days of, Dunwich.
When it works, it's so cool.
I think that card's still like pretty solid actually. Like, yeah, there might be better uses for your experience now, but like just in general, if you're looking for something big to spend your experience on, there's not a ton of other great choices. That being said, it does require a little bit more planning, which a lot of other cards in the game don't. They're just kind of good all the time. But this one goes from being like meh to being great with a lot of planning, and I think that's a little bit of a turn off for. I mean, like, it's a little turn off for me. I don't like playing a Headless Dome.
It's also very bad if you're playing the Forgotten Age.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So bad.
But I mean, like, dare we say Arkham Horror is kind of pretty bad when you're playing the Forgotten Age.
I don't know. That one's like, it's okay.
I do think I'm learning from this, though, is that I really need to play a yellow character again and try out all these exciting new cards.
Yeah, like, again, we could do a whole video on why I don't like the Forgotten Age. But, like, even, like, there's been a couple times before our last playthrough where I was like, yeah, I'm, like, kind of interested in playing the Forgotten Age again. I liked going through the jungle, finding, like, ancient tombs and stuff is pretty cool. And then you sit down and set up the game and you're just like, ugh.
Travis's number 3 is Pathfinder.
This is like my number 4, but better.
Moving for free is good. If it's good to not be engaged with enemies because you're the yellow character and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, this says during your turn, if you are a yellow character, if you're playing a yellow character correctly, exhaust Pathfinder, move to a connecting location.
Yeah, you get to pawn the enemies off on your teammates, and then you just get to leave and go wherever you want. You're like, see, I got clues to find. Nerd.
I got places to go, clues to find.
Still waiting for the Monterey Jack investigator to come out. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah, where's my cheese man?
Yeah, where's our cheese man? Bryn's number 2 is Panoptic Manuscripts. I know this card. This card's good. This card's very good.
Yeah, you know that red card, Test of Will, or whatever it's called, something like that. Will to Survive. That's what it's called. Will to Survive. This is that, but you get to pick the tests that it happens on.
And 3 times.
And it's like it's a relic. It's a tome, so it's easy to find when you want it. Sure, it takes up a hand slot, but it uses secrets, and those are also pretty easy to come by if you really want to.
Which is kind of weird for it being a secret. I have so many secrets falling out of my pocket right now.
Yeah, right. No, this card is just strong.
Yeah, strong.
It is good.
Yeah, they don't.
Succeeding for free is good.
The investigators don't even have to be at your location when they perform the test. They just have to have been at your location like at some point during your turn. Card's awesome.
I have my number 2 is Death 13, so we're going to be coming back to that again in a few moments. But first, Travis's number 2 is Shortcut Level 2.
Moving for free is good.
Yep.
Admittedly, this one's not actually. It's like kind of worse than like the level 0 one, but like there's some scenarios where it really, really shines, and like just being able to move all your teammates around.
Yes. Yeah.
At their discretion is like. It's good. It's
really
people
good. Like you when you play it. They're like, Travis, thanks, buddy. We forget your transgressions.
Some of that goodwill. Yeah. Like, I'll slap this down. You can come save me from the monster now.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our number 1s. Bryn's number 1 is Eidetic Memory.
I've never actually seen this card be good.
What a twist!
Why is it here?
Because this is my favorite yellow card. I want this card to be good so badly.
It was like pretty solid that one time I played it in Joe.
Yeah, like I also don't really like Justin. I don't really play yellow characters because Travis is like clues. I need them, and that's fine. But you also kind of can't play at other places. But this card is just so cool. Like, what does it do? Who knows? Who knows?
It could be
the only thing I guess it's a spirit. I can probably play it in Calvin. Maybe I'll do that.
Do it
at some point here.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, yeah. Like the only thing you're sure that it can do is be discarded for a foot or a book, but that's
Yeah,
probably
that
less good than
you
what
know,
it could do.
yeah. Bottom line,
Yeah.
it does that.
Maybe one day we'll do a campaign where everybody can just play whatever they want, and we'll all show up with our decks and not talk about it, and nobody's allowed to complain.
That's a great idea. That's fantastic.
Just no judgment allowed.
My number one card is going back to perfectly what I said earlier, how I'm living in the past, is higher education. Wow. I remember this card being incredible. You were like, what? One resource to get +2 brain and +2 book? I'm unkillable. I mean, you have to depend on other people to protect you from monsters, but higher education was like peak power for me in the early days of this card game. I was like, whoa, are you telling me that I can just spend a resource to fight these dumb abominations in Dunwich? This is fantastic. It has mutated since then. And no one's played it since
even
then.
costing 8.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win, it's still very good.
Like it's.
One thing that really put the power level of this card into perspective for me is when you told me you were playing with someone for the first time. I think it was Mitch, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But you just like sat him down and gave him the cards to upgrade. He looked at higher education. He was like, "This is insane, right?"
Yes. Yeah.
And you were like, "Yes."
Yeah. Yeah. He just said it was his first upgrade, and I just gave him the
Yeah.
book, and it was the first thing he chose. He was like, "This is,
This
phenomenal."
seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
It's just that good. And let's finish off with Travis's number one, which is Death 13.
Wow. Book good.
Book good. Free book at start of game, even better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
it's just a book. It doesn't take up any slots you care about.
yeah, and then you have to pay 3 for it, and you still feel great. You're like, yeah, give me that plus book.
Yeah, like difference between 4 and 5 is pretty alright. 4, 5, and 6, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much anytime I'm playing a yellow character and I'm like, I got like 1 or 2 free experience. Yeah, give me a couple of Death 13 or 2 if you slap in my deck.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely something worse in there than getting +1 book all the time.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's definitely true. Yeah. That's all there is to say about Death 13. Like it's on all of our lists, and we don't have much more to say. It's just that good.
It's boring, just good though.
Yeah. Anyway, those were our favorite top 5 experience Seeker cards. I'm sorry that I'm living in the past. I think all of mine came from Dunwich or earlier, but
That's okay. Dunwich had insane yellow cards.
it did, yeah. But what are your guys' favorite experience Seeker cards? We had some excellent conversation in the Mystic cards that I actually enjoy reading those comments. So let us know. Did you too also feel like a powerful teacher with a raven on your shoulder when you played higher education? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.